Hey Legionnaires, welcome back. We're here with another NTW3 battle for you here today, and I hope you've grabbed your muskets because we have a Peninsular War clash ready for you here today, as we have already the British on the run, retreating from an onslaught of French cavalry and infantry, and we've got the Shropshire foot here, the old 5 and 3 pennies. They are preparing to make their last stand here against a whole host of dragoons. And weirdly enough, they are not going in the square. Oh, there you go. They went in the square. A little bit delayed, but there you go. Into square, and that will keep that dragoon at bay. But the infantry is arriving, or grenadiers here from the French, and they're getting ready to go in on this red coat unit. And I think their days might be numbered. And there you go. Yeah, they come out of the square, and the dragoons pounce. And that is going to be first blood to the French here today in this glorious 4v4. And yeah, it's a very fun one. I'm looking forward to it. We're here on Ekmal, which is a map we don't often play on, I feel like, or cover battles on at all. But it's a very fun one. It does have some interesting sort of spawn zones for the allies. They have two armies quite a way back. We've got a Friere all the way over there, and we've got a Santo Sildes as well all the way over there. The first two armies to face the onslaught are going to be Blake and Wellington's. They are a 10 and an 11 point, so they are going to be substantial forces here to hold back the French forces that are arriving out of Ekmal itself. The French armies are Assault. We have Suchet, Joseph, and Maceda. This is obviously the 1811 Peninsula Corps, so those respectively. So we have a bit of a Spanish and French alliance there as well with the Joseph units, and that's a good charge there by the Lancers. Polish Lancers going in as well, causing the cavalry there of the Portuguese to scatter. They're not hanging around by the looks of it, and it looks like, yeah, I mean, look at it, the French are dashing on forward with dragoons, being really aggressive. They believe they got the British on the run. But the British have formed up a line and are preparing for that next line of defense. Got Chasseurs Britanniques, Coldstreams as well. Got the elite guards. But also got here lots of big units of Portuguese infantry as well, which is going to be great. Exactly the sort of units they need, and they can shoot pretty damn well as well. So yeah, they should be able to hold the line. A few red coats. Yes, a lot of Portuguese, I would say, here today. And we've got Carabiners Real, a C2 back there as well for the Spanish, bringing some heavy cav to the game. Very, very nice. But yes, Blake now setting up, and he's preparing to join Wellington on this flank here and defend it. It even looks like the Shropshires, oh no, these are the Royal American Rifles. They're just getting blasted by their own side. Potentially, that might be why they're so low, or they got charged. It's a tiny little unit, I just realized. 24-man skirmish unit. It's not really going to do much in the way of good here today, that's for sure. A lot of cav gathered around these guns as well. They probably want to scatter those out. We have got King's German Legion Hussars and also cavalry, like Portuguese cavalry there as well, guarding it. So yeah, big boy units, that's for sure, that are going to be guarding that. Not quite sure which French armies are where. Joseph is probably going to be the easiest to find. A huge gun battery being set up here by the French, so, and it's horse artillery as well, so that's going to be pretty damn expensive, I'd imagine. That is slowly setting up, and the Brits do actually have an infantry unit in there, the Valenka. I've got into this building over here to try and hold this position. Looks like the French are going to storm it. The Valenka, if I remember, does have some pretty good melee stats. It actually might be pretty hard to get that unit out of the building there, but yeah, the French are going to give it a good go. They regard themselves as the kings of melee, and they want to prove it here today. More columns, and the French come marching on forward. Another gun battery as well is setting up. But yeah, pretty speedy start to today's clash, that is for sure, which is always great to see. The French here going for a cav charge. Little bit of a unit cross, I'd say, but they're going in. The Chasseurs Britanniques can't form square, one of the few units that can't for the Brits. Apart from probably their Portuguese, but yeah, one of the few red coat units you could say they can't form square. And the French there prepared and expected these guys to form square, and they didn't. And they've fallen back, so they fell for the ruse. They also might have seen the King's German Hussars coming up, thought better of it as well. It's probably why the foot guards, the Coldstreams are over here. It's probably to inspire those chasseurs, to be honest. Big skirmish line being formed up over as well. These are the bigger 60th Royal American Rifles. Skirmishing away. Captain Fredrickson here. His eye patch, I'm sure. and his fake wig. His fake wig is weak. There you go. The building has been taken. The Valenka did manage to out one French unit, but a second one was one too many for them. We've got French Cav that was going to just try and charge a unit there. Is it Guard? Well, it says Guardia Schamberger, but I think it is just like an infantry unit. They are gunning away at the French Cav there. They nearly routed it, to be fair. And they might still. You never know. If they hang around there, they're definitely going to get it. Here comes the French infantry, though, seeing the opportunity to take out an isolated Spanish unit. Looks like the Allies are really going for LOCs and trying to, you know, hold them. They're now into this building here. Farmhouse taken. I mean, it's just as far as we're aware, just a team deathmatch battle between two clans here. So as the so I don't think there is like necessarily. Well, I mean, obviously LOCs are important in NTW3. If it does come to a draw, having the most is important. But yeah, this is a clan battle between Win and CDF are the two clans. They probably are abbreviated for something, but I have no idea what. I mean, Win could just be their name, that they've just, you know, are manifesting the win by just calling themselves Win. Got the, oh, actually, these are probably the Spanish troops here. This is probably Joseph here. That's easy enough to pick out. I think these are the Spanish Fusiliers of the Guard. So there you go. Joseph, I believe, is over on this side then. He is like a 7 point. 7 or an 8 point. There you go. The Spanish have fallen from that building. They did nearly take out that French unit there, but not quite. Building lost, and another LOC, yeah, to the French. Now, how many have they got? Ekmal is worth 4, and the French technically hold it. They have that 2 point there, and they have this this point as well over here that they just took from the Valenkas. Is that 7 points? They also have a 4 point to the Allies. I guess they have shielding as well. Although maybe they're not worth anything. I would have thought they are probably worth 1, but I guess technically, if you weren't to count it, then the French have 6 points, and the Allies have 4, which would make more sense that that they're not pointed, that they're not worth anything. Sometimes, like, random building, like the odd building on its own is worth 1, but also on some maps it does just say 1 point. So I'm going to go with they're not worth anything. While I've been whittering on about LOCs and points and things like that, France is slowly getting into position. Looks like they're really pushing hard on this Allied left flank, their right flank, really trying to turn the British cavalry here, which is in an interesting formation. I would call this the chaotic formation. No one really knows. Same over here. They're all kind of just bouncing off each other, these Portuguese cavalry, that is for sure. Yes, if you're enjoying the NTW3 action and you want to see more gunpowder action on the channel, if you're a fan of all things black powder, then do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here. It does help out the channel as we work towards 15k subs. And feel free as well to leave, you know, a comment down below if you are enjoying the content and you were predicting who you want to win. Put in your predictions now in the comments. Who do you think is going to win? Spain and Britain or France? Are you rooting for the Emperor or the King of England? Dragoons as well over here. Santa Sildes is now arriving. They've done a pretty good job at Blake and Wellington. They've given ground, which is the right thing to do. By giving ground, they've also got closer to the allies that are arriving. Now Santa Sildes, by the looks of it, is going to be going on to the British left. Britain's going to take sort of the centre, which is not a bad idea. I mean, I think Britain on the flanks is also fine. He has got a decent amount of cab. Also, he can just kind of square with most of his stuff, so he should be fine. But also the centre is not a bad spot for the Brits, or at least looks like left of centre is going to be his position, because his infantry can absolutely just machine gun down anything, and he can rip through that French centre if they decide to go hard there. Looks like Friere is going to be on the right flank, the other reinforcing Spanish army, though evenly pointed against Joseph, who I imagine will bring probably a lot of Spanish, like sort of like Bonaparte's Spanish infantry, I'd imagine. Yeah, a lot of cav moving forward here. Big boy unit of hussars here. 107-man unit. Hussars of Fernando the 7th. Very, very nice. Or Ferdinand the 7th. I think that's the current monarch. I thought, was it 6 or 7? I can't remember. Britain, though, is chasing off after the French cavalry. It's a long way to go. Just going to exhaust himself by doing that. He's like a tiny little lancer. I think this is... I thought this is like Spanish Guard cavalry or Spanish it's certainly Spanish lancers of some sort. I thought they might have been a guard unit, but I'm not sure. Decent unit, but it's not going to stop against the hussars, that's for sure. Got dragoons over here also giving ground as well. But yeah, France, after the early little bit of excitement there, they've slowed down. They're like, you know what, take it slow. We have the LOCs. At least in my book, I believe they have the LOCs. They have the 6 points to the 4 of the Allies. So they don't actually have to be aggressive. They can let the Spanish and the Brits come on to them. And Spain on the attack. Oh, it's dubious, I'd certainly say. Probably better as a defensive faction. Britain certainly is better as a defensive faction. It doesn't want to be going into melee. It wants to be shooting, that's for sure. And when I say, you know, going into melee and attack, they usually come combined, to be honest. If you're aggressive, you're probably going to be getting your bayonet pretty bloodied. France, certainly, I would say, is a bit more of an aggressive faction. Certainly can't afford to be in long gunfights with the Brits and the Portuguese, or the Spanish, to be honest. Their units typically a lot smaller than the Allied ones. Like 180 man units are few and far between for the French, but yeah, for the Portuguese and Brits, they're quite common, to be fair. 211 for that one there. Oh my gosh, yeah, some big boy units. And they can square as well. So it's a really good unit, very handy to have. We've got the Coldstream setting up here, and they're under fire. But they're about to show the French why they are the finest regiment in the entire British Army. Now is your cue to fire, guys. Come on. Come on. It's 3 rounds a minute in any weather. That's what Sharpie would want. Nope, apparently not. Okay, 5. Do whatever you want to do. I guess they actually can't see the guys anymore, so we would have been looking at that for a little while, expecting them to fire, and they didn't. Cav fights, Cav standoff still going on over here, and yeah, the Brits are kind of getting baited in a little bit. The French were ready to strike on the flank there. Maybe should have waited a little bit longer, and then infantry's also turning to shoot the Cav, and Britain still persisting with this. Why? I mean, he's got Spanish backup and he's got guns here. But yeah, he cannot afford to take a cav fight. And look at that, France is now dashing over more cavalry over here, including the Vistula Legion Lancer, which is really, really good. That's pretty much guard cavalry. And then we've also got another dragoon that was also dashing over, and a general, so just to, you know, pop those inspires. So yeah, wisely Britain has retreated, as he should. That would have been costly if he threw in all of his cavalry there. That is for sure. Got howitzers for the Brits as well. Don't often see howitzers being brought. Fire away! Lobbing rounds into the French infantry. Which, I mean, looking at like where the French infantry just kind of stood right now, a bit odd, I won't lie. They're all just kind of just scattered around, thrown around. Not really got a battle line forming up. Whether this is the same player, I do not know. But yeah, very odd there from the French. Looks like we've got howitzers as well here. Just looking at how they fired, the smoke plumes went there. Yeah, and you can see the rounds landing in and around the 12-pounders here of the Spanish. So they're trying to counter back again. Don't know if howitzers are too effective at this. I mean, it looks like they're killing the crew, maybe. 23 out of 30. Maybe they are. They certainly won't be blowing up the artillery, like getting a direct hit and taking it out like a normal cannon would do. But, yeah, they might kill the crew off, I guess. Yeah, there is the howitzer in question. Now appeared on the battlefield. Another gun over here as well set up. And yeah, the Spanish moving forward with their tiradores is starting to unveil a bit more of the French positions. Yeah, I'm very much in the Napoleonic mood today. I've even got my Napoleon mug with me, with my mug of coffee ready to go. And it's good to be back in the world of Napoleonics. My favourite period, it really is. I mean, I did study it as well at university, but yeah, I do love it. And I think NTW3 really does capture sort of like the chaos, the glitz, the glamour of Napoleonics. Like the chaos of a battle, I think is so good. You can also do maneuverability. People have been saying to play field command as well. I will definitely give it a go. For those of you who want me to play field command. I will absolutely give it a go. I have no replays for it. That's the problem. So if you have replays for Field Command, feel free to send them to me. Otherwise, there's not really much I can do. I can play battles at some point, but my time usually is limited anyway with what games I can play. So if you have any replays, that'll be much appreciated. Do send them in. I'll be more than happy to check them out. The link for my Discord is down below in the description. It's the best place to send any sort of replays in. And yeah, if you want me to try a different Total War mod by sending me replays, it will certainly help, that's for sure. Yeah, Friere on this flank over here, flanking hard. He's got Dragoons Lorraine. It's a decent Dragoon, if I remember. I usually bring it, I feel like, in custom games. Probably is a sign that it's also not a good Dragoon. No, it is pretty decent. If it's the boys in red, they are very handy, if I remember. Dragoon's Granada as well, 110-man Dragoon here. Spain can bring some pretty decent cav units, in the sense you can bring, like, you know, a lot of decent stuff. And usually numbers in the end kind of make difference. And also their big boy units. You know, 110-man Dragoon is very, very handy. And there you go. France has gone in. I mean, there's a little charge there. They take it with their light cav. Taking out the territories. First little bit of action we've had in a little while, but yeah, nothing else really going on just yet. No one is really wanting to make that first move. Carabineers Real staying over the artillery. I don't know if this is a wise idea, because this is technically getting counter-batteried at the moment by howitzers. Having your heavy cab in a very odd formation over your cannon like that is going to cause casualties, and there go a horseman has just dropped. Rip in peace to Carlos, we'll call him Carlos, RIP to him. Not a good day in the office for him, but yeah, I'll just put this back in the forest, it's fine there. And there's also infantry out in front of it, so there's no chance the cavalry is going to be charging this gun, which is why I think it's there. It's also just put a nice old hole in its own infantry. There is the 12-pounder. Infantry Siguenza there getting plowed through by 12-pounders. And here we go. This looks like it's the first action that's going to take place. The Allies seem to have the jump on the French when it comes to infantry on this left flank here. Santasildes having pushed himself out here. Gone against the grain of what France looks like it's trying to do. It looks like it's got more armies in the centre and on the right for the Allies than it does on the left. Santasildes here is going to have, I think, more than enough infantry to turn this flank, maybe move back towards Ekmul, and then work his way around with the Brits sort of moving forward to assist. French infantry is starting to arrive, but also, again, the Coldstreams look like they can probably help with that. And how much infantry is over here? That's the question. Is it going to be enough to deal with a part of an 11 and also this 7? We'll see. It's got a lot of cav, like I said, over here. Infantry is slowly arriving. But Grenadiers here moving up. Santasildes is not really ready for a fight at all either. He's not got any of his ornaments into position. So like his artillery needs to move forward, I would say. Maybe not this one. This one's a pretty good hill. Though with how far his infantry is moving forward, kind of blocking his own guns. His other artillery is yet to move forward as well. It'll get in position 6-pounders, and his infantry is slowly coming up in sort of a drip feed effect right now, bit by bit. These volunteers here, the Asturias, they're getting gunned down by the French. Morale for the Spanish is pretty poor, as you can see there. They've taken a fair amount of damage, and often, yeah, France, if it's going to beat Spain, it needs to break its morale, not try and like, you know, wipe you out, man. Like to the man. Huge gun battery setting up here against that 4-gun horse artillery piece. Unless there's another one, which there might be, to be honest. Yeah, there's a lot of artillery there, getting ready into position. Or in fact, falling back. Whether they're worried about this advance from Santasildes, I don't know. I mean, they could turn their line and almost just use Ekmal as the sort of like the cornerstone of their defense, absolutely could do that. Problem is then Wellington and Santa Sildas are definitely going to be pushing hard on this one French player here. But here come the Brits, slowly moving forward. The Chasseurs Britanniques and the Coldstreams look like they'll be the first to probably engage the French. Still waiting to see who's going to really make that first dive into battle. They've blown up this building back here. This was not smoking originally. Yeah, 50%. They decided to bring that down. Yeah, this is looking pretty bad for the French player here. Maybe overextended. He could probably do with some assistance. I don't know whether the comms have gone out and they've said, well, we're currently getting hard pressed over here on this right-hand side by Britain and Spain. We could do with another army here. I mean, it's hard to say. There's only one general in this vicinity, so it suggests maybe just one army here. There's another general here. And then I think there's two over on this side, I think. Oh, no, there's one here. I thought that was another general, but he's just disappeared, so that can't be it. There must be one somewhere else, I would have thought. I can't see him. So maybe I'm blind. That is also possible. Oh, he's dismounted. He's here. Ah, that's why I couldn't see him. Yeah, they got 3 on this sort of side. They need to push hard this way, the French, or think about shifting troops, which they absolutely have the mobility that they could do. And they're quicker than the Spanish and probably the British. So they could shift to this right-hand side here and help out this player out. Or they, like I said, need to be aggressive on the left and get moving. But engagements are starting to take place over on this side here, actually. The Spanish have moved forward, and they've run into Joseph's infantry. And they've just got shot. These hussars here getting pretty badly mauled up, actually. And here we go, the first proper sort of gunfight getting underway here. Who's there's the guard engaged. More of them over here as well. Spaniard fighting Spaniard. There you go, Spain has fallen back on that left flank there. And it looks like France is pretty much in position, and he's doing exactly what I was going to say on his right flank here. He's going to sort of give ground, use Ekmal and the building here, sort of like his hard right, either force the Spanish to come into the streets and fight in there, which is definitely in favor of the French. And it also allows him to properly use his grenadier type units, which he did have somewhere, did see them. They might be hidden again now. God, I hate fog of war. It really is annoying. Be this unit here. It's this unit here. There you go. I knew it wasn't a big one. He needs to get this grenadier and get it either into the building. It's 52%. They probably won't reduce it anymore, but it certainly should be in the front line where it can get skirmished here by skirmishers. Or shot by line infantry, because it's like an 80-man unit. It'll get reduced to nothing in no time at all. France over here is also really struggling. But again, these look like Spanish infantry troops. I don't think it's Joseph, but they are just Spanish allied infantry troops. Could be like a Suchet or someone like that. I think he has them in his army as well. But yeah, this is definitely Joseph over here. He's getting forced back right now. Yeah, it looks like Spain and Britain are going to be the aggressors here today, and it looks like France is going to be playing on the defense. Yep. Again, no real sort of action just taking place just yet. Waiting for that first real dive. We've just had a little few shots here and there, both sides. Unconvincing. Unconvincing as of yet. We're waiting for the real dive to begin. I don't really want to like make a cut just in case that France or Britain decide to make that push. Spain is looking like he's getting ready to maybe retake this build. Well, trying to retake this build. Territorials aren't going to be the ones to do it. This Cav coming up is an interesting move. Lances of Castile. Interesting move, that's for sure. I mean, Britain should be really aggressive, I think. He's facing like a real shabby amount of French in front of us here. This is not a lot. Probably just gun these guys down and kind of mow his way through. Like I said, not enough troops on this right flank here. France looks like he's finally seeing another army over here. And they are now going to go and support. Got a big gun battery here that is probably going to stop any sort of British advance up this hill unless they use a cav here. Probably need to use that cheap cavalry that from the Portuguese, send that in there. Looks like France is going to go in with dragoons. And they're going to get rid of some skirmishers. Charging head-on at skirmishers is, well, real risky, and he's going to lose the dragoon. Absolutely. Which is not worth it. Not worth it. He might kill the skirmisher, but he's lost a lot of cavalry there. Yeah, he's lost the cav and taken a skirmisher out. The skirm might even return at 37. It really might. So that's a bit of a waste. But there you go. First bit of action we've had in a little while has got underway. And France and Britain are now once again gunning at each other. The Portuguese here in line with their British training. They know to fire 3 rounds a minute in any weather. That's the requirement from them. And I don't know why we have silent muskets, but we do. Just Britanniques going in. These guys are like dressed as redcoats, but they are not British troops. I'm pretty sure they're like French emigres that are like serving in the British Army, basically. Actually, they've managed to kill a gun carriage here, and the gun crews got off the guns, and therefore those guns are now stuck there. Don't know if that's just because the gun carriage is dead. That might be why they're doing it, but yeah, good work there from the Portuguese. That's a very good result there. Spain is now engaging over here. Like I said, don't know why we have silent guns, but we do. And here come the Brits. They're going in. They see the opportunity, obviously, with the gun crew getting off, and the cavalry, Portuguese cavalry here is going to be matched by dragoons. That's good there. What is that other unit? That's also a dragoon unit as well. They're going to fall back. The infantry there getting some good shots onto the dragoons, nearly routing them. Howitzers landing in and amongst the dragoons as well. That nearly routed them. And there you go, the Portuguese once again. They're not done yet. They're going to still go for those gun crews. I think they're just trying to bait the French cavalry out to try and get them. Keep moving forward, boys. Yeah, from 110 down to 73. Some heavy losses, that's for sure. Brits move forward. They now are facing substantially more French than I thought they were. Santa Silves needs to also move forward and try and support. Got a gun battery here? There's a horse gun battery. It's the 4-gun battery as well. It's going to try and, I guess, kill off this sort of flank here. Interesting. That is for sure. Very interesting. Britain is leading the way in this charge over here. Here comes France. They're being aggressive here in the center. In and around this this building. And again, once again, the gunfight is starting to take place over here. Joseph is making a stand. His infantry are readying their arms. Fire when ready. Glorious, glorious. I don't, like I said, don't know why we have silent muskets, but we do. Guard do look very, very nice though. There we go, glorious shot. Honestly, we don't see these Fusiliers enough, and they are just glorious. I'm enjoying just watching them, to be honest. I enjoy just looking at uniforms sometimes. I do apologise. I do make sure that we don't try and miss out on too much. Spain and France, once again, advancing forward. They've not really actually done any sort of like major breakthrough. They've just you know, forcing back the French. But they are actually into the gun battery here, and they haven't killed it. Having a limbered gun like this for horse archery is really hard to then kill. But there you go, the French going in with their infantry. They should rout the Spanish infantry as well. Don't know how. The gun basically routed that infantry on its own. And there you go. Spain is now into the town. Desperate to get this this gun battery here. We've got the Lancer sniffing in about as well. And more French infantry going in. Lancer's going to just charge through its own French infantry. That might break them. And they've routed the Spanish infantry. They run away. Dragoons going forward. That might get the gun. They need to get that horse gun out of there, really. This is just causing all sorts of issues, this being here. Whether it's bugged out, I don't know. This gun looks a little bugged. And France is now, looks like, going to make a stand inside Ekmal here. Spain is going to have to, you know, melee his way through. And the line fights are starting to begin. Again, though, France can't really afford to take any. And you can tell they're just going to keep falling back. As soon as the Brits kind of stop, they look like they're going to get a volley off. France is getting the heck out of dodge. So they're having a lot more success, though, against Friere's men. Actually look like they're routing a fair few of those in a gunfight. Fusiliers, yeah, they must be winning these fights. They are taking casualties of their own. There's a fair few dead. And the guns over here, I think, are also doing a fair amount of damage to those horse artillery pieces. I mean, in a forest, I'd have thought the French would kind of fancy themselves in melee against the Spanish. Get cover, and also they can stay hidden until, like, pretty much on top of the Spanish. What is going on with this gun battery over here, though? This surely is just going to rout, or just, like, I don't know. Very odd. Whether it's bugged out, like I said. Spanish horse gun being brought forward, as is King's German Legion Hussars. This might be the answer to getting rid of the French in front of them. Just setting a cav in, seeing whether any of these guys can square, and if they can square, then get the British infantry up. They can shoot at the squares. I would have thought these Spanish infantry here cannot square. They are chaff, that is for sure. They're not going to be doing much. Got Peninsular Legion in the building here. Oh, that's going to be tough to take. But the Spanish are sending in Pedro Valdeveso. He's in charge of the infantry of Asturias. Pedro's got the job of trying to take this building, along with the North Devonshire bloody 11th. They're going to take it from the Poles. Will they succeed? There goes that gun finally. It is just routed. Whether they had to shoot it enough, I do not know what happened there. But yeah, what a waste of that gun battery. See all the Poles inside waiting. Lining up waiting. They are fighting in there. I'd imagine that the Spanish are going to lose. Pedro looks like he's actually doing okay. Combat losing. Morale-wise, not so great. And there you go. They took it. They took it from the Poles. Well done, Pedro. What a legend. And the bloody 11th as well. Did their job. And there you go. Ekmal's fallen. And now advantages with the coalition. They have both 4-pointers. Now the French are going to have to act. They're going to have to be aggressive. Their strategy of falling back has not worked. And now they're going to have to be aggressive on the Allies somewhere. I mean, I'd say that the battle is going to be decided over here, I would have thought. France is finally advancing. In some cases. And in other cases, it's still running away. This is very World War II France, I'm feeling. This is not the France of the First Empire that we know and love. They are set up, and they are getting ready to go. France also does have something flanking very hard over here. Oh, it's just, I think, returning infantry. Okay. Thought it was like, what a sneaky little move he's doing, but no, it's not. It's just I think some troops that have returned. But yeah, gunfights are starting to get underway here, which is good to see. Spain is actually kind of suffering in these gunfights. I mean, France will definitely have better accuracy. Just Spain has just more men in a unit. So they kind of just gone with the policy. If we have 200 men in a unit, at least one of those 200 guys will hit something. There you go, breaking. And the response now would be to bring up some cavalry, I was going to say, and try and make a charge through here. Our dragoons coming forward. If they go through this gap, probably try and get some of these Spaniards. Oh, they're going to go through this gap, an even better gap, I think, to go for, because there's no real support here. And there's a few Spanish infantry units to go and take out. They can probably charge these ones before Britain gets his cavalry over here, which he is slowly going over. And there you go. French cav goes in. Spaniards could have formed square, and I think might have. Yeah, I think this is why they were advanced so far. And there you go, dragoons. Might be getting forced back here. Yep, they're orange lining, but that's fine because the infantry can come forward now. It can get really close, and it can potentially catch these Spaniards. In goes more French cavalry. They've smashed, and then they failed with this one. That one could form square. The Africa del Elvarosa. And I think these guys could, yeah, most of these guys could form square. Spain's got a squareable army over here with Blake's forces. That's fine. If you can get point blank range like this, they can do just absolute war crimes to the French. They just need to charge in though. Don't know why they're just setting up. Just charge in. They're not turning their lines. And if anything, they keep themselves encircled as this unit. In goes the cav once again. Nice little move there. And now I was going to say that infantry can turn around once again and charge the square if it chooses to. Britain has sent in his cavalry. He's been forced back though by a French square there. And France is charging the squares here. That's Vistula Legion going in. It's the Suchet's men leading the way. He's got most of the Vistula Legion if I remember. More of the, we've got Italians here coming forward, more allied infantry. And again, cavalry going in. Again, trying to break the Elva Rosa. They try and break through. I wouldn't charge any cav near the Brits. Use all your cav pretty much on the Spaniards.
The battle is all but over, sir.
The battle is all but over, apparently, but I don't know. I think it's just getting started. I think it's just hotting up. The French on this left flank here have actually managed to catch some Spaniards out of square. Managed to rout them as well. Also being right by this red line. Anything that routes potentially could just go straight over it and play itself out of the game. Yeah, Joseph over here is doing a pretty decent job. He's actually kind of like holding his own quite nicely. This cav here, though, I don't think it can stay here. I think it is a guard lancer of some sort. It's certainly a decent looking light Schippliger. It's going to go in. I think he fancies its chances against the Hussars of Fernando there. And I don't blame it. But they need infantry backup if they're going to try that. Back over on the main fight, Spain and England have sort of sorted out the situation. France did get a little bit of a march going on there. They've already kind of run out of a little bit of oomph. And if they keep charging forward here, they're going to get shot both on the left and the right. They've also kind of going into a bit of a encirclement. They were a crescent formation that was being formed against them. Not Friere, Santa Silves might be the one to go through, I think. He's not really set up in time. As you can see here, he's bringing up his forces in drip feed amounts, while France is looking a lot more unified here. It just needs a bit of cav support, I'd say. They could really give this a good go, in my opinion. Back on this other side here, that cav did retreat. The infantry returned. Okay. But I think Santa Silves here might be about to see the next sort of big French push. There are some columns coming forward, including grenadiers. They're not big boy units, but they have got scary bayonets. Here comes the Spanish. Moving on forward. We've got Guard over here as well. Nice. We've got the Royal Guard of Spain here. It's a combat gen as well. Oh, that's going to be good. Blake's Corps is a solid corps. It really is. Got artillery coming forward here. Horse artillery. And there you go. Santasilde is getting hit. Dragoons try to stabilize the situation. But infantry is... Actually, I think he might have been the aggressor, to be honest, in Spain. Looking at sort of like... I don't know. I'd say, yeah, that might be the case. And this dude here making a bit of a mess of that. Oh, God, look at that. That's beautiful boy there from the Spanish. Got that French unit for sure. Yep, there that goes. But France is going to continue on. Oh, he's kind of getting shot as he goes in. It's not a FIM. Absolutely not a FIM. It was a good volley, actually. And it's broken the French. And that nearly worked, and you can see Santasildes is now like rushing over his remaining reserves over here, running them into position. Needs to do so. France just, yeah, doesn't seem to have enough here. It was a good idea, just needed to maybe back a few more reserves over there. I mean, they're now getting the cav over here, but the cav is all well and good, but there's no infantry now to support the cavalry. You needed the cav earlier. Squares again being formed. Get out of there. Here's come the French, sort of to the right of this engagement here by Santasildes. Again, they're going to just strike at the Spaniard. Britain, though, is here to support. We've got Coldstreams ready to take on the line. Spain's countercharging the French infantry that's pushed forward. Or in this case, Spanish allied infantry. And France is going to counter that. Both sides countering each other with cavalry. And hoping something will stick. There goes the cav going straight on in. And we've got a building being contested over here by the French. We've got the guard going in that we just saw earlier. The Royal Guard of Spain going in. They're taking on that building. Perfect unit to be going into there to try and challenge the French for that. Got reserves coming forward here for the French. Moving up to try and, you know, solidify that building. French right, though, is looking pretty shaky, I'd say. Building has been captured. There, the Royal Guard have done their job. No, they haven't. It's not that building's a different one further back. Don't care about that building. Not at all. But yeah, right flank for the French looking really shaky. Spain has managed to hold. Santasildes has got up most of his reserves, and that's managed to help the situation out. Light cav there getting taken out by French light cav, as it looks like they're trying to go for this gun battery here. And as I say, the provisional dragoons just keep going. Keep going. The gun is for the taking. Can they get a volley? Oh yes, they can. That's beautiful. Getting a volley onto the guns. Onto the cav, and that has actually routed the cav. The guns might just about survive. They'll lose their carriages, but that's fine. They're in a pretty solid position. This defense here. That is beautiful there from the French artillery. Why, it's the finest in Europe. And the guard there has been routed. 55 of them have survived. Italian infantry coming forward. Take two here for the Brits, this time sending in the Portuguese, but France sees that a mile off with his dragoons. And he's going in. I generally think that the French player is like, he's not going to charge. He won't charge. He did. And he's routed the French cav. A volley here, though, might just about finish off that Portuguese cavalry as well. There you go, just about save the gun again. That's the second close shave there. The French gun, which is redlining. Allies now starting to throw their cavalry away. France managing to take, what's taking on their skirms. Spain's going to take advantage to take out his cav. Cav taking out skirms, unless you can, you know, there's nothing else really around. It's not really worth it, I feel. And you don't like charge them directly head on as well. Peninsular Legion skirmishes there, very cool. I mean, Joseph over here has pretty much been in a standoff with Friere. Neither side really coming too much. It's so much cavalry for Friere. Good volley there. That should break the Dragoons Lorena. There you go. The square does the job. Very interesting move there, just to try and charge the unit. You've got to presume that any unit on the flank probably can square. Big push here from the French. Spanish cav, the Lancers of Castile couldn't do enough. France has managed to break through some of his infantry. He needs cav support, but I don't know if he's got any available. All on the wrong side of the map, and is now having to shift across. I presume to try and help over here. The guns here, these horse artillery pieces, are just blasting the French infantry as it moves forward in canister. There you go, some of the Brits starting to break now. That's not a good sign. What is it? South Gloucestershire breaking. Infantry units, though, most of them are still really healthy. Like, look at that, yeah, the Chavez here. Still at 169 out of 211. Big boy unit. There's nothing probably that size for the French on the battlefield. I almost can definitely say that. Concentrated volley from these two units here. These are units 300 muskets firing. Probably do a serious amount of damage to these French infantry here. SARS coming forward. Whether they were, yeah, I think they were going to go for the guns as well. Again, guns hold them at bay. Good volley there. That did some damage to them. But yeah, the Brits can't keep advancing without that gun being taken out. That's the problem. Columns of infantry being shifted from the right-hand side against Santa Silvas and Wellington. I don't know where they're going. Whether they're going to the town? Maybe. Yeah, and there goes a lot of Portuguese infantry. That's all routing. I think that's all just responsible for guns. But yeah, they're pulling away from this flank, which desperately needs infantry as well. Like Santa Silvas is kind of, you know, mop up his final few French units here. Once he's done that, he'll be able to flank around. Howitzers over here that we saw so early on in this battle, still alive. What are they shooting? Shooting a gun battery, I presume? They're surely not gen sniping Blake. The building here has been collapsed, so France is, I don't know if there was anything in there when it collapsed, but France may potentially lost a unit. And there you go, finally, I think the gun crew has been taken out. Or not, I think it's here actually. Yeah, he's pulled the gun crew, oh my gosh, well played. Pulled the gun crew back. He's setting it back forward. Yeah, not. Yeah, it's probably fine there. But the Spanish going to go back in. Julian Sanchez with his Lancers of Castile. Unit crossing the Brits a little bit there. And instead he's going in for the French infantry. And the artillery crew's already broken anyway. Got shot and killed by Portuguese infantry, I think. Cav's going to pull out of that engagement. It's turning into a real slugfest here, which I don't think right now France can win. The longer this battle's gone on, the less in favor of France has been. Because, like I said, France's ally is speed. And I'm not saying they've lost yet. I mean, they need to take some LOCs if they want to win it. That's for sure. They need to get Ekmal back. Because they still hold the other... Well, technically they still hold the other 2 point because it collapsed. And last I checked, France held it. So there would be a like 2 points for the French there indefinitely. And they still are. It's still 8-2 for the LOC as it currently stands. bit more of a sustained push now from free air. Certainly on that, like, side by the red line there. Why they? I guess they capture all the buildings back here. Whether they are worth worth a point, but I mean they have 8 too. The Allies. So in my opinion, they're winning anyway. They don't need to worry about those random buildings in the back. Yeah, France is falling back on this town over here, which is smoking. And France's right flank's pretty much redundant now. Center Sildes can either flank around, he can just get in columns to try and get behind into the buildings over there. Right now they don't, like, I mean, some of his forces obviously are engaged against the French, but Brits and Blake right now are doing a great job of just, like, really just damaging the French, pushing them down. Skirms there being charged by Lance of Castile. It must be one of the few cav units left. I mean, on this flank anyway. Free air's still got plenty of cavalry over here. We've got Spanish cav going in. Carabineers, Real, we saw them so early on. And they're going in against the Lancer here. 2 elite units, but I was going to say the Spanish surely will come out on top in that one. The heavy cav. Or can they could go for the guns if they wanted to. The howitzers there. They're probably for the taking. Or they're not even howitzers, so they are like big 12-pounders. Or 8-pounders. And the Carabineers have been broken as the Dragoons come in and just touch them up. So the guns are not going to break. But it was a good idea. It was a good idea. France once again going on over here and actually has won a melee here. Forcing the Spanish back from the town. Can they sort of turn the Spanish? They might be able to turn the Spanish flank here. He's kind of just breaking through the middle of Blake right now. Blake is trying to shift reserves there. He's got stuff that's returning as well. Still got a very healthy Visual Legion alive as well, which could certainly be of use in a melee fight. They can get it into the right one. And this Spanish infantry is pushing really far ahead on its own line. It's going to get routed here, I think, pretty easily. There he goes. And the howitzer has been turned on to canister as he gets ready to deal with incoming British infantry. Spanish cav's gone in as well over here. And that has failed to break through those lances. I think have found a square. They could shoot it now. In go the French once again, meleeing. Bayonets twirling. Someone needs to get a general, I would say. That's probably like the French need to somehow kill a general. I don't think they're going to because they haven't really got enough cav left to do it. Let's say that. There's Visual Lancers still alive. You keep just pulling cav out of nowhere. Dragoons as well, they look like provisional ones.
Your men have been routed, sir.
So they might be able to. You never know. Herefordshire Saucy Green's been routed there by the French. Goes the Spanish, the Lancers of Castile still sniffing about, and there goes the Visual Lancers. They're going to get charged, and I think they'll finally get killed off with those elite poles. There you go, they are gone, but it nearly worked. I was going to say, they nearly baited in the Dragoons there. Oh, they got a volley right in the face at the end there. That might be Kearns for that Dragoon unit. Visual Legion though can take advantage of. I mean, any French should take advantage. Try and get right into this big infantry unit there. France still being super aggressive. Managed to take out a gun, or he's at least scared the gun crew off. What's going on the other side? Oh my gosh, it's starting to look pretty bad over here. We haven't had a little look in a while. This French infantry starting to run. Friere is starting to wrap around with his dragoons. They're moving super slow. Joseph has held the line. Probably should have retreated a long time ago, to be honest. Like, fallen back and then let Friere, like, chase after him. Because, like, once he set up against Friere, probably should have, yeah, like, just given ground. He would have outpaced Friere and got himself out of there, I would have thought. And then he could have had a, potentially had a 4v3 on the other side. Got some French... these are parts of Joseph's forces here, actually. These are Joseph's men here with the flag that they've got. The gun battery here, it looks like a guard gun battery of some sort. That's also set up there. But it is looking like the Allies are going to win this one. This literally has 55 seconds left. Oh my gosh, that's brutal there. The Vicious Legion getting absolutely abused by canister. That's brutal. That's got to be a war crime. And there you go. We've got infantry in there now, taking that other LOC that the French are sort of desperately trying to hold on to. And this definitely is going to be an LOC victory here for the Allies. Not necessarily a wipeout. The French are probably moments away from that, to be honest. Friere now is, yeah, enclosing the trap here onto the French on this side. Yeah, they are probably moments away from being absolutely annihilated. But they are going to survive today, just about. But the Allies are going to win. And that's another great victory for the Peninsular Army of Britain and Spain. That is for sure. Yeah, I'd certainly say that, like I said, sort of like assessment-wise, I'd try and give a bit of a post-match sort of assessment. I would say that the French should have been a bit more aggressive. Maybe not Joseph necessarily, but certainly on the Brits and on Blake, they need to attack those two. Maybe, I mean, if they could have all converged on those four, that would have been, sorry, on those two, that would have been huge. A 4v2, taking out all these, seriously bloodying the first two corps, which were the big boy corps, Blake 10 point, Wellington at 11. They could have done a lot of damage. Friere and Santa Silda's, as Spanish forces, will kind of slow moving forward. So that could have been a massive, massive result there if they managed to, you know, do some damage. But Britain and Spain, credit to them, did also do a good job retreating. I think the French could have done a better job in also assaulting as well. They seemed to wait around a lot, posturing, and they were like, "Well, we got the LOCs. We're just gonna, you know, sit here, and then wait for you to come to us." And the British and the Spanish did, and then they won because they played a better game, to be honest. And the French, like, lost the initiative and then never regained it after having that early initiative. Yeah, hopefully while I've been yapping on about that, you've had the end results on your screen, which you can have a look at. And this is sent in by Good Player, who is playing as the Brits, I believe, from his perspective. So thank you very much for sending this one in, man. Very much appreciated. We'll have a quick look at the unit stats. So you got the most kills. Coldstream Guards, yeah, proven they are the best unit in the British Army. 300 kills dead. Impressive. We got the Chavez getting 188 and 156. Very good. Those were the 211-man units. Very, very good units. Then we got the Valenka, 121 kills for a 75-man unit holding a building. Very good. Then we got the Brunswick Jaegers, the Owls. It's a skirmisher. Got 118 kills. It's insane. 106 for the American Rifles here as well. Foot Artillery getting 92 kills. Chasseurs Britanniques, 79 kills. Not bad for a non-squareable redcoat unit. And yeah, his Cav not doing that great. 1339. It's a shame to see. But there are all the kills if you want to have a look at those. But there you go, guys. That is today's NTW3 Clash. If you did enjoy and want to see more Black Powder action, do check out the videos appearing on your screen now. Should be some absolute corkers there. And I'll see you folks in the next one. Bye-bye for now.